We are Shaltazar, the Gavish Banenu, the energy of 33, the master teacher, and we have come forth at this monumental time in human history to bring forth divine wisdom, to bring forth that wisdom so that it may assist you, it may help you in your human sojourn. We are here. We are here for you whenever you wish to call upon us. We are here now, and we are here forever. There has been much stirring of the energy in this part of the globe, in this part of the world over the last number of weeks. The institution of government has been on your planet for many years, for it was decided long ago that regulations, that laws, that governments should, to a certain degree, control, guide, lead the populace. Why was that the case? Perhaps because as individuals, there were too many problems and challenges in this place of polarity, in this duality called planet Earth. For you see, and as we have told you before, there are two important foundations or cornerstones of human existence. One being the fact that you live in the duality. What do we mean by this? Let us simply say that where you came from, not the you that is in the human body sitting in these chairs, but the you who is infinite, the you who has been here many times before, the essence of who you truly are, your spirit, your soul, the part of you that is part of the all. And the all, the source, the great creator, God, is unity, is oneness, is completeness, is all being and all knowing. And in order for it to understand, to comprehend, if such a thing was possible for the all, to comprehend beyond its all being and all knowingness, it decided to create the human being, put a piece of itself in the human vessel, and send it forth to planet Earth, where there would not be the unity and oneness of the higher realms, but instead the duality, the place of opposites, the place of up and down, and black and white, and here and there. And if you were to reflect for a moment, you would realize that on this planet that you inhabit, you are faced with polarities and dualities everywhere you turn. And thus, in the early days of human existence, those polarities were maybe too difficult and challenging to navigate. So humans, in their wisdom, decided to create institutions like government and other institutions to create a more unified way. What an interesting paradox, that if the purpose of government was to unify people, what has been witnessed in that country called the United States of America is far from unification. And that is because even though the purpose of a government may be to unify the people, we remind you that you live in the place of polarities, in the place of opposites, in the place of a duality. The other foundational cornerstone we wish to bring to your attention at this time is that of free choice. Hand in hand with living in the place of duality, free choice allows each and every human being to choose of his or her own accord how they think, what they do, where they go. And so together, free choice and the duality creates a situation that is extremely ripe for learning and growth. For you see, the source, the great creator, the all, has no expectation, for expectation is beyond its unity, its oneness, its completeness. And although the higher realms are available to all humans who wish to call upon them for guidance. In the end, the choices that a human being makes are up to their own accord, and only their own accord. And so what you have witnessed in the past few weeks, and what you have witnessed in the past several months, are parts of humanity that are choosing divisiveness, are choosing to make that duality more extreme than maybe it has been in parts of the world at other times in human history. The interesting irony is, if you look at the events that are occurring on your planet, you will see pockets, you will see areas where there is not as much divisiveness, where there is more getting together, where there is more harmony, where there is more compassion, where there is more understanding. And so you may ask the question, why at this time are we seeing such major polar differences between parts of the human race that are moving to more unity, to more collectiveness, to more collaboration, and at the same time, somewhere else in the world, we are seeing the height of divisiveness? Some may even say that we are taking a step backwards. And that may be the case. For once again, we remind you that you live on the planet of free choice. And where your planet is heading is determined by the collective consciousness, not by the higher realms, not by the source itself. And we would like to remind you that as the source looks on, it does so without judgment. So what does that mean? That means that God loves those who are moving to the light as much as those that are moving to the darkness. Those that are perpetrating hatred, divisiveness, who are moving backwards from a linear perspective of some of the gains that humanity has made with regard to tolerance, understanding, God loves them as well. So where does that leave you humans at this time where we are seeing what may appear as a rising up of the old energy, a rising up of divisiveness, of hatred? And may we suggest to you, it leaves you in the place of opportunity. It leaves you in the place of opportunity, as much so as if more and more people would be moving to the unity, to the oneness, to the collaboration, to the compassion. For free choice always allows humans to choose their path going forward. And the man that has caused such a turmoil, who has just become the president of your United States of America, is loved by God, just as Mother Teresa was loved by God. Now that may be hard for some of you to fathom, and that is because you live in the duality where true unconditional love is virtually impossible. That does not mean that you cannot move towards a greater sense of unconditional love. But because you live in the place of polarities, it can never be experienced the way it is in the higher realms. So here you are, planet Earth, humanity, on the verge of a very important time in human history. There are many of you, and I speak to those in the room, who have found the light, who have found a more encouraging way, a more collaborative way, a more understanding way. You are the workers of the light. And many of you are doing the very best you can to share that light with as many as you possibly can. And many of those who have found the light are very disappointed with the politics that are occurring in the United States of America. And they are wondering if they are losing the battle, if the tide is turning. But let us assure you that the tides will always turn, for as we have told you before, life is circular. What we would like to bring your attention to is the personal choice that you have. And in the face of a surfacing of darkness, of a surfacing of divisiveness, in the surfacing of hatred, you have a choice as to how you will respond. And it is quite understandable that the frustrations have come forward. But unfortunately, those frustrations are enhancing the divisiveness. Is it possible that those who are moving more to the darkness, more to persecution, to divisiveness, are hurting? Is it possible because they have not done the work that you have done? They have not had the opportunity to rest every once in a while in the light, to find salvation, so to speak, in the place of harmony, peace, tranquility that those who work in the light have found. We have told you before that all life has purpose, and so therefore there must be purpose in what is happening all over your globe. There is purpose in the weather patterns, in the climate change, in the political upheaval, the desire for countries to take in refugees of war-torn countries and then change their mind. There is work to be done because not everyone sees life the same. For as we have told you just a few moments ago, you live in the place of duality, of polarity. There will always be those that are in favor of this and those that are in favor of that. We would ask you to look deeply into how you feel and how you are feeling about this challenging of your beliefs. You see, there could easily be an assumption that light is right and dark is wrong. But what if that were not the case? What if light made more sense to you and dark made more sense to someone else? What will be the choice of the collective consciousness with regard to the polarities of light and dark, with the polarities of those that believe in advancing civilization to more tolerance, more understanding, more love, more compassion, and those that believe in divisiveness and hatred and persecution? For may we suggest that the source cannot help you in this decision. It must be the decision of the collective consciousness. Maybe this is a wake-up call to those that are the workers of the light. Maybe there is, to a certain degree, a mirror being held up to you. For just as the world as a whole lives in polar opposites, so too do those polar opposites exist within you. And although at this time your propensity might be more towards the light, more towards what you would consider goodness, harmony, peace and understanding, there still is the potential within you for everything that you abhor, everything that you criticize those who just got elected in the presidential election in the United States of America. For as humans, you are also the duality. And we caution those who have been working so diligently on their light. We don't caution you to discourage it. It is important for humans to evolve. And we would like to tell you that your gravitation, your moves to the light, are acknowledged and approved and liked by the source. But as we remind you, if the source does not judge, that cannot be the case. You move to the light, to the unity, to the oneness, to the understanding, because it feels right to you. But unless you are prepared to acknowledge that there is a part of you that is bigoted, that is dishonest, that is racist, that is judgmental, that is all the things that you point fingers at others for being. There is that potential within you. And so the message for tonight is, if you wish to bring the collective consciousness to a greater place of unity, to a greater place of understanding, to a greater place of compassion, that must start first within you. So please look inwards and realize that you too have the potential for all of the things that you criticize other human beings for doing at this time. And because your civilization has advanced the way it has, it's hard to believe that someone at this time in history, in the educated parts of the world, would have the prejudices and the bigotry and the hatred for other human beings. But that hatred, that bigotry, is part of the human spectrum within the duality. So before you hurl insults, before you get frustrated and point fingers at those that you feel are ignorant and uneducated and even stupid, please look within. This is an opportunity for each and every human being on the planet to make peace with their inner darkness, to make peace with their shadow. For let us assure you that the results of the election in the United States of America could not have happened if the collective consciousness was not embracing, on a more outwardly level, the shadow. It is important to realize that although your preference is the light, the potential for darkness is inherent within you. Acknowledge it, love it, make peace with it. And then you will be able to look at those others who are outwardly portraying the characteristics and behaviors that you find at this point so abhorring. You will be able to look at them with greater understanding. You will see their pain. You will see their suffering. Take time to look deep into the other human beings on your planet. Do so from a place of understanding. And how that can be accomplished is look within yourself from a place of understanding. May we assure you that one election in the institution of a government, even if it may be considered one of the more powerful governments in the world, is not enough to sway the collective consciousness forever. There is no forever on planet Earth. And so we encourage you to come from a place of understanding, love, and compassion to yourself and to your fellow humans. Do not allow the forces of darkness to allow you to go backwards in your journey. For many of you have worked many days, weeks, months, and years to work through your shadow, to work through your darkness. There is a great opportunity to move forward in that journey with greater resolve. But it will not be accomplished by giving in to the darkness. And the only way you will not move to the darkness is if you learn to love that darkness within yourself. We bring you this message from a place of love, for that is what we are. Remember that we are here for you anytime you wish to converse with us. Allow us to help guide you forth in this turbulent world, in this world of a duality, where unfortunately or fortunately, that duality is coming to the surface and is evident more now. But realize that that is an opportunity for healing, an opportunity for evolution. Take a leadership role and show others the way. Bring more love into the world by being more loving to yourself first and then to others. Remember that the events that have occurred are but one grain of sand in the sands of time, one drop of water in the oceans of the world. The more emphasis you put on what appears to be wrong based on your beliefs, the more you will manifest that. It is important to take time to feel your frustration, to feel your dismay, but then get back up on the horse. Move forward in your life. Continue with your practices. Continue to work on yourself. And remember that you too have the potential for darkness. It is through your diligence that you have chosen light more of the time. Now help others do the same. Our love for you is everlasting and unconditional.